Hello from UnitedWeStandPeople.com, where our goal is to empower the people using knowledge. Keep in mind, knowledge is power, and the power is in the people. Here's another quick report from our public investigation team, where all participating investigators are people just like you. This report is part of an ongoing public investigation into how the banks are pulling the wool over many Canadian borrowers by collecting on debts the banks no longer own. The banks accomplish this by carefully indoctrinating their employees, collectors, and lawyers into a train of thought that misrepresents many of the facts pertaining to the Canadian bank loans. That's right, the banks are selling your debt and not telling you. This seems to be the bank's best kept secret. And we, the Canadian people, are about to blow the top off this serious injustice. Here's just another classic example on how law firms such as KMB, located in Ontario, Mississauga, Canada, are just running over the Canadians' legal and human rights, even though the Canadian public is 100% in the right. This is happening on a daily basis. But not this time, KMB. Thanks to UnitedWeStandPeople.com public investigation featuring this brave Canadian borrower who we refer to as Sarah. Sarah is asking the most pertinent and magical question no Canadian creditor wants you to ask. The question is, are you still in fact the rightful owner of my debt? As the upcoming telephone recordings illustrate, Jared Scavuzzo of KMB law firm of Ontario, Canada, blatantly cannot answer this question. But when attempting to answer this question, Jared Scavuzzo of KMB law firm acting on behalf of Canadian Tire Card tries to confuse Sarah with legal mumbo jumbo. But as you will see, when his statements are broken down, they make no sense. The following recordings will illustrate Sarah, our brave Canadian, destroying Jared Scavuzzo of KMB law firm invalid points with airtight rebuttals. Once Jared Scavuzzo of KMB law firm realizes he's dealing with an informed Canadian, he resorts to what all law firms do best when confronted with an informed Canadian. They bully the Canadian into submission even though the Canadian is 100% in the right. But this time, this brave Canadian stands her ground, forcing Jared Scavuzzo of KMB law firm to admit defeat by hanging up on her. When someone hangs up on you in this manner, you know you have won the debate. Here's the recording. Let's listen.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. I'd like to speak to Sarah.
Speaking?
Ms. Thurbo?
Yes.
Ms. Thurbo, my name is Mr. Scavuzzo. I'm at the law office of K&B.
I've been asking for proof of ownership of the debt for, oh gosh, I think it's been over a year now. And
Ownership?
Yes, proof of ownership.
Okay. Ownership, how so? Like, I don't understand the statement. It's your credit card, you signed it, you used it, correct?
Yes.
So the card was in your name, so that would be the ownership of the card would be you, so I'm trying to understand.
Oh, well, okay. Let me just back it up. So, are you aware that debts are bought and sold every day?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, because of this, I wanted to audit my debt and find out if Canadian Tire actually owned the debt or sold it to somebody else. And if they sold it to somebody else, I wanted to know who that person or company or was. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
And they refused to answer any of those questions, and they threw me into collections instead.
They would have, before they sold that, they would have supplied you all your information.
It actually states in the cardholder agreement that they are allowed to sell my debt without notifying me.
Right, but that would have, the only way that would have have happened is you would have had to already have been in delinquency thereof.
Wow, great job, Sarah, for asking the magical question. Are you still the rightful owners of my debt? As you can see, when she asked Jared to produce verifiable proof that Canadian Tire credit card is in fact still the rightful owners of the debt, it causes Jared Scavuzzo of K&B Law Firm to stumble over his words. It seems very strange to me that an entity working at a law firm acting on behalf of a Canadian creditor is not fully aware of how debts are bought and sold as a daily business practice within the financial industry. You heard it for yourself. Jared Scavuzzo of K&B Law Firm just starts spewing out some very inaccurate statements, such as Canadian Tire would have informed Sarah if the debt was sold. But Sarah is quick to bring up the fact within the cardholder agreement, it states very clearly, Canadian Tire can sell the debt without notifying the Canadian borrower at any time. Well, to verify this fact, we found the Canadian Tire credit card cardholder agreement. And here is proof Jared Scavuzzo of K&B Law Firm is wrong. Now here is the agreement. And it states clearly in the cardholder agreement under the heading Assignment of this agreement, and I quote, "We may assign any one or more of your accounts and all of our rights under this agreement related to each assigned account to any other entity or person without your consent." Just to be clear, the word assignment is another word for transfer of property. So, in other words, it states clearly Canadian Tire can sell the debt without informing the Canadian. After Sarah, this brave Canadian, has brought up such valid points, you would think Jared Scavuzzo of K&B Law Firm or any sensible individual would agree at the very least to look into the matter further and verify if their client, Canadian Tire credit card, can prove they still own the debt. But instead, he starts to spew out more inaccurate information, such as the only time a bank can sell a debt is if the Canadian borrower can no longer make monthly payments. This is simply not true. Banks sell debt in good standing within days after the debt contract was signed via a process called securitization. Here are many links verifying that the bank sells debt as a common business practice on a daily basis. So far, Jared Scavuzzo of K&B Law Firm has been misleading the Canadian public by grossly misrepresenting the facts. But as you will see, it is not working with our brave, informed Canadian. Well, that was another quick report from our public investigation team where all participating investigators are people just like you. Make sure to get involved. Sign up now at unitedwestandpeople.com. Knowledge without action is useless. Be part of the solution. All bullies will back down when they know many others are watching. So don't forget to like this video and share with your friends and subscribe.